Yeah, Prakash will join in a while.
Okay, so you are there.
Ah,
Yes.
yes.
So
So,
last time, Advait, I remember you made a comment which is a little relevant to our chat, that you were talking about being busy and so many things happening and interacting with other people and so on.
yeah,
And Ajahn was stressing that it's not about understanding the meaning of words, but understanding just what appears now, a reality, no matter what or when or where, no matter how busy, no matter whether watching movies or listening to music or healthy or sick. It's just about understanding Dhammas right now,
yeah,
not about the words, but just the characteristics, what's appearing now. Do you have any further thoughts?
yeah. So, mm, that's what in daily life, when one is doing all the activities like driving, talking, eating, if there are right conditions, automatically understanding will arise. One has to make no special efforts for that. That's what I have realized.
It's with the understanding that anytime it's just one chitta after another.
Yeah,
There's no difference here or there. It's just one chitta after another.
And also the understanding that not having any awareness and understanding is better than trying to force it and thereby having wrong practice and wrong understanding. So we probably come to with the idea that there should be a lot more awareness and understanding than there is, much more during a day. But once we let go of that preconception, then we appreciate that just the very occasional moment of awareness and understanding is so valuable because it arises naturally and it allows us to not to have in the back of our mind an idea of having more understanding than we are really equipped for at the moment.
And as Hukin and I were just discussing, just the beginning of understanding the appreciation that each reality at each moment now is conditioned. It doesn't arise by my trying to make it arise or stopping it from arising. So no matter the circumstances, driving, at work, shopping, in the Zoom discussion, rich, poor, healthy, sick, there are just different dharmas arising and falling away by conditions. No one that can do anything to change them. And this is so powerful, the understanding, letting go of the clinging to I that can control life. The understanding it's the way it has to be, just as it is now.
Mm.
And at that, I think you have begun to appreciate that life before and after understanding, hearing and understanding Dhamma, it should be easier in terms of the reactions we have to different situations, different circumstance, isn't it?
Yes.
If life becomes tougher, then there's something wrong. It
Yeah.
should be easier. Understanding should make life more easy.
Yeah, yeah. The fact that there is nothing to, force or nothing to do in terms of Dhamma itself is very liberating. And automatically there is a change in behavior.
I mean, it's good to hear that. I really like it.
Yeah.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Ah, okay. That's great. So do you mean that you believe that our actions in life don't make any difference to the outcome of what happens in this world?
No, no, I don't mean that.
I didn't understand what you mean that uh, it sounded to me like what you're saying is no matter what we do, everything is already pre-written, and you said yourself that it's liberating to know that, but I'm not really sure what you're finding liberating.
Yeah, so what I want to, in the conventional truth I'm using, that, see, before when I was practicing Vipassana from 2007 till 1 month back, there was always an intention or an effort to become aware of sensations whole day, and suppose I indulge into some sensory experience, maybe a series or a Netflix or maybe a food or something, there was a lot of aversion towards it. I should not have done that. I have to be equanimous. I have to do good karmas. And there was always that there was so much burden in me till 1 month back, that yeah, I have to do it. I am the one who is doing it. Whenever I am sitting and meditating or even lying down and meditating, the sense of I am equanimous with the sensations, I am aware, that was actually a lot of burden. That's what I realized when, since 1 month, I made an attempt to understand that this is just a phenomenon. And whenever it is about Dhamma, one has to just let the nature play its own role, let the Dhamma play its own role. One can create, one can indulge in Dhamma discussions like this or read books. And then there is nothing special one has to do when I am seeing patients, or when I am getting angry, or it is right understanding is the can happen, can appear any moment. So in terms of the Dhamma, I said ki there is nothing too much I have to do. In the real life, of course, I am doing a lot of things. I made so many calls in the morning to my team because I was on leave for 3 days. So in terms of the conventional truth, there's a lot of things to do. Obviously, one has to take care. My parents have come, we had gone somewhere. So that is there. But in terms of Dhamma or the Buddha's teachings, there is what I have realized with all of them, especially Jonathan, Sarah, and everyone, that there is nothing that I have to do.
Hey, I'm not really following it because I think that it sounds to me a little bit like an abdication of responsibility, like saying that if
If I may say something, Drake, I think
No,
it's
this is not Drake. This is someone we don't. I don't know the gentleman who's joined
uh,
us, but you're
my
very
name is
welcome. Would you
John.
like to just briefly tell us who you are and for
Yeah,
a moment? I see there's the name Oratai Engineering appears on the screen, but
indeed.
I don't know if that's your name or not.
No, it isn't.
No,
My wife's name is Oratai, and
yes,
she's an engineer. And
right,
we live in Thailand, and she's
yes,
Buddhist, and I
right,
have no religion. And
right,
the reason that I'm here is because when I came from UK, I was very surprised to learn that so many Buddhists eat meat and other
mm,
animal
mm,
products.
right,
And when I looked at Lord Buddha's teachings, I felt very strongly that this is against what he would have wished,
mm,
because it causes suffering and
mm,
it
mm,
doesn't adhere to the principle of causing as least damage in this world as possible.
mm,
And so I've in my travels with Oratai around Thailand, we've asked various monks and nuns what the justification is for eating animal products when they're claiming to be Buddhist.
yeah,
And none of the answers have made any sense to me.
right, okay.
The answers
Yeah,
have
we can
been
discuss that. We can discuss that topic certainly. Did you mention your name? I can't remember now.
my name is Johnny. Johnny. So similar to
Johnny.
yours, but
Right.
in fact, I am a Jonathan.
Yes, right. But
Not
known as
quite the
Johnny.
same as yours, but Johnny. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, very welcome to join, Johnny.
Thank you very much.
And please feel free, as I see you not hesitating to come in and join the discussion. That's great. And just before we go on with the discussion, I'd like to send a shout out to Drake. Very nice to see you, Drake, and I hope you enjoy the discussion today. And
well, thank you.
Of course,
Yes,
feel
great.
free to come in.
Great to
Long
see you
time no
back,
see.
Drake. Yes, very happy to know you're there. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have made a big impact on me. I think about you guys a lot.
Well, the discussions we've had with you before were really excellent. So very glad to see you. And Oratai and Johnny, I'm also from England.
Okay.
So welcome you. Yes. Yeah. But we're living in Sydney now. Okay, let's go ahead.
So where were we? And
okay, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, Sukin.
Okay. Yeah. Johnny.
Yes.
What is basically behind what Advaita is saying is that it's not like there's no action. There is action all day. There is the consciousness means there's going to be action. There's action all day. There's no such thing as doing nothing. There's always something done, but it's not something done by somebody. What's done, what is happening is just the functions of different realities, consciousness with its mental factors. There's seeing, there's hearing, there's smelling, there's tasting, there's touching, there's thinking. That's all that's happening all day. And when he says to the effect that there's nothing needed to be done, although in the conventional sense, he's busy, he's a doctor and he's busy, he's doing things, helping people. What he's saying, no need to be done, is a reference to the fact that the development of understanding, which is also an action, is not about is not associated with the idea of I have to do something. It is all about the development of this reality, this mental reality called understanding, arising to know the nature of the present moment, the reality of the present moment. So the fact that the present moment is appearing, has risen, appearing, and fallen away already, that shows that there's no one who can control. There's nothing who can control what is already arisen and fallen away. And in that respect, this is what is meant by nothing to do. It's not like all of us here are just, believe in something that is, everything is fated. There's nothing to do with fate, nothing to do with determinism. It's about understanding the nature of the reality, that it has arisen by conditions, not by anyone's will, not by any being out there, and not by anything. It's just realities arising by conditions and falling away. And the path that the Buddha taught is the gradual understanding that this is the way things are. I'll just stop there and let someone else continue.
Okay. Can I just say I worked in India for 20 years, in 1990s to mid. In fact, up until a few years ago, and during my time there, I was involved in a lot of animal welfare work, and also we started a school in South Delhi as well. And many religious people that I met during those 20 years, some of them said that what we were doing was actually wrong because it went against God's will. But the majority said there was no need for us to intervene in human or animal welfare because it's already determined by God, and really what will be, and it's God's will. So I thought that in the same way as I would view that as an abdication of personal responsibility, I thought that what Advait was saying was similar. It sounded to me like it was similar.
So let's say it's not similar because Advaita is not saying don't do anything.
Right.
We still go about our daily life in the same way as always, and the Buddha did not suggest anything otherwise. People follow their livelihood, their family obligations, and have the usual relationships with other people, which involves responsibilities, which are to be performed. And he encouraged that, including the performance of traditions and so forth, cultural things. But when it comes to the essence of the Buddha's teaching, it is just about understanding. And understanding is not something that can be practiced at will. Understanding, and in fact, any form of wholesome behavior. I don't know how familiar you are with Pali terms. There's one called kusala, wholesome behavior. Okay, beneficial behavior, any form of behavior that is accompanied by beneficial mind states, not harmful mind states, is those mind states arise by conditions, not they cannot be aroused by deliberate effort or by exercise of will. And that's the gist of it, that all mental states are conditioned and other realities. And so it's not that one does nothing, but in terms of the understanding, it cannot be made to happen. It happens by conditions, by the operation of different factors, one of which is hearing more about the way the present moment is in reality, not as we might think it to be.
Just as you, Johnny, you, as you are, the things you do, all by conditions. Another person is he as he is by conditions. It's just different realities arising in different moments and accumulating different, different things. So your idea about what you had about eating and not eating meat and all that is by conditions. You would see no one is born with any particular tendency. Everything is accumulated through lifetime and things change. So by conditions, there's no control over you being who you are. There's no control over Advait being who he is. It's just different realities rising and falling away. And we're talking about this being the nature of life. It is as it is.
And
Sorry, I don't understand that either.
in the same context, but I would like to add one thing. Buddha has also said Atta Deepa Bhava or Atta Hi Attano Nath. Means you are your own master. So he has encouraged in his teachings that one has to make an attempt to generate wholesome chittas, the wholesome patterns, and that he has told to the beings as well. So it is not that this something happening. So what I have understood, please correct me if I am wrong, because from 2007 I have been into Buddha's teaching. So mm, uh, for initial understanding, probably I am all talking about conventional truth, everyone. Okay, I am not talking about the ultimate truth. In the conventional truth, Buddha has told a path. He has told you are your own master. You have to generate positive qualities, positive emotions, and all those things. But when it goes to the ultimate reality, the ultimate truth, and what we are discussing here, that's the knowledge of Abhidhamma. Probably it is not just the initial teachings of Buddha. So initial teachings are available everywhere, but what we are discussing is the most ultimate reality, that is Abhidhamma. You can study about that maybe.
Yes, well,
I think what you're saying
yeah,
is this, that uh, when there's understanding, then we can easily talk in conventional sense and to each other, do good, avoid evil, develop understanding. In conventional way, that sounds to someone who does not understand will think that it is the Buddha asks, suggests that, and I do something. I make an effort to be good, to avoid evil, to develop understanding. But actually, what he's saying is that good is good, evil is evil, and understanding is the highest form of good. So, by pointing that out, he's just reminding us about the nature of different realities. And if there's understanding, then naturally, a person will be inclined to avoid evil, do good, and develop the mind.
Does it mean then? Oh, I'm sorry, Sarah.
I was just going to say in brief, Johnny, we learn about life as being just at this moment. We're used to thinking of a situation of good deeds and bad deeds, but what about this moment? For example, Christmas, around where we are in Sydney, lots of giving of gifts and so on. But what about the intention when giving? Is there kindness and consideration for the other? Or is there attachment for one's gift or expectation for a certain result and disappointment if the receiver doesn't like the gift? So we learn that an act of giving involves many different kinds of wholesome and unwholesome kinds of consciousness. So we learn a little more about life at this moment. And it's the same when eating meat. So when eating meat, is there any intention to harm or to kill? Or is one just being considerate, eating a little of whatever one has been given by one's host or one's family? So what's important is not the situation, the story, but the understanding of a little more about life right now. And we learn that right now there are different kinds of realities that experience an object right now, like thinking, seeing, intention to do this or that. And there are different realities that don't experience anything, like what is seen, what is heard. We learn more about life now to begin to consider whether it's true that there really is a self that can control life, whether there really is a God that can do anything, or whether there just are these different mental and physical phenomena arising and falling away. So the understanding is not an abdication of responsibility, and it's not any suggestion that the deeds, the good or the bad deeds, don't bring results. But there's a beginning to consider, what is the I at this moment? Is it I that sees, or I that hears, or I that thinks? What is the I now? So whatever we discuss, it's actually coming back to what is life at this very moment.
So at the moment of eating meat, there's a clear intention to cause harm to
Really?
animals
Really?
because it's cause and effect. It's creating a market. If we don't eat animal products, then the animals won't be kept. They won't be
That's a
killed.
long story about it. Like, we just had our lunch and we ate some meat, no thought of killing or harming. So it's about the intention at this moment. Even the Buddha ate meat. Yeah. He ate whatever was given to him.
I think you're confusing the knowledge of outcome in the conventional sense, because you said people who eat meat therefore encourage others to kill the beast. That is thinking about the consequences in the conventional sense. But first of all, a person can eat meat just with enjoyment, without any thought of the consequences in the conventional sense. So what the Buddha explained was that their mental states can be beneficial or harmful, non-harmful or harmful, we'll say, and that is what gives any action its ethical quality. not the sort of the outcome in the conventional sense of what it's going to trigger in respect of other people's behavior.
And I
Is
think,
it-
Johnny, I think you can appreciate that there is a difference. Eating meat and versus killing a living being. These two are different actions, aren't they?
No, they're not, because one causes the other. And it, as a similarity, in my discussions with one of the monks in Thailand, he said to me that he felt no responsibility for the killing of the animal because the animal wasn't killed specifically for him. He wasn't there when the animal was killed, and he didn't see or ask for the animal to be killed. Now, I drew the comparison to what he's doing by abdicating all responsibility for the act that has been perpetrated against the animals. I drew the uh, parallel with child pornography, and that the watching of child pornography is against the law, and it's against the law because it encourages people to create child pornography. In the same way, the eating of meat encourages people to keep and to kill animals. If we didn't eat meat, people wouldn't keep and kill animals. If we didn't watch child pornography, people wouldn't make child pornography for sale on the internet. They might make it for their own use, but they wouldn't make it for mass distribution. So
Yeah,
I think
I can see the connection, but I
I-
just want to sorry to say Sukin's point was that the two acts are quite different. The taking of life of a being and the eating of flesh of a deceased being are quite different acts.
one causes the other, and if we're the cause of an evil
They
act,
they are still
then
different acts, aren't they?
they're different, but they are
Yeah.
both wrong.
And one can be done. One necessarily involves wishing harm to the being, that is the one taking the life. And the other one does not necessarily involve wishing any harm to a living being.
That's not true, I'm afraid, because if you eat it, you have, by the act of eating it, you have wished harm to the animal. If you didn't wish harm to the
You are
animal,
imputing that mind state to the person eating. But think about it for a minute, whether it has to be that way.
okay, so taking our parallel with child pornography, if you're in
Well, there may not
court,
be.
if you're in court for downloading and watching child pornography, if you say to the court, I didn't mean those children any harm, that wasn't in my mind, do you think that that would be an escape or an excuse in law, or do you think you'd still be
Well,
prosecuted
this is
for
a different
encouraging the
question.
terrible act? I
This
think
is
you'd
a
still be
different
prosecuted.
question.
Well, I think you'd
You
still be
would,
prosecuted.
because that's the law. That's the law.
Yeah,
So
that's right. And the law is built on a moral
but
that by doing
what we
something,
are
you're encouraging something bad to happen.
what we are discussing is the reality of the moment. And at a moment of consuming meat, there is not necessarily any harmful thought involved. Yes,
But
Andre.
it's
Yeah,
causing harm.
Jonathan, I want to clarify one thing. See, as Johnny is saying, when I don't eat meat, but suppose I go and buy meat, I am paying for the person who has killed, right? So I'm encouraging
Yeah.
at that moment. So
When
what
you say
Buddha
you're
said,
encouraging, what you're saying is that person may take encouragement from the fact that you've bought it, but you don't necessarily have to have any thought of wanting further killing to take place just
no, but the
because
moment
you
I'm
are
giving
buying it.
money, I'm encouraging him to kill, right?
Yeah,
You're
you
not
are.
that you are
Definitely.
saying that act will be
Chief.
taken as encouragement by the other person, but to encourage as a mental state is something quite different. It's to wish for that outcome, and you don't necessarily wish for that outcome when you make a purchase.
That is definitely an abdication of responsibility.
Yeah. I want
Well,
to clarify one
it-
thing, Jonathan, that when
sure.
Buddha had told that, that was a different context. See, when Buddha was asked, should we eat non-veg? He didn't say anything. So what was the scenario that time when monks used to go and for the alms round, they had no option. Most of the people were non-vegetarian. So when it was given to them as a dana, they had no intention. They had just an intention that, okay, whatever is served, I have to eat. But now,
Mhm.
when many people go and buy the meat, the collective
Mhm.
consciousness is there to kill, and that is promoting the market. This is a reality. I will ask
What
Ajahn.
is the reality of this collective consciousness, Advaith? What is the
Sorry.
reality of
Well,
this?
let's say if an employer sends his employee to purchase meat, the person purchasing may not have any such intention. They're just following an instruction, and the mind mental and what we're getting at here is what is the reality of the present moment, because that only that can be the object of understanding. So when we come back to that consideration,
Yeah,
and
if it's okay, I'd like to
yes,
follow
straight,
up.
please come in.
Um, you know, that theme of it's impossible to produce a wholesome state was one of the areas that I got hung up with this group and I understand in this, like Sujin says, that all moments of consciousness arise unchosen, unselected. And I believe that for sure. And so in an absolute sense, we can't will ourselves to be wise or kind and free from ignorance and ill will, or free from greed. But the Buddha did teach the Kusala Sutta and the Nanarama Sutta, and encouraged striving, and encouraged reflecting on the Dhamma, wise reflection. So everything is like to go to a monastery and to do your duty towards the Sangha and to participate in the meditation schedule. All those things are designed to improve the probability that wholesome states of consciousness will arise. And so it seems that there's a role to clarify so that people don't get the wrong understanding that there isn't some wholesome effort to be done to purify the mind, even though on a momentary basis we can't demand a wholesome state to arise. And so like one of the methods that the Buddha taught was recollection of the special qualities of the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, and the devas that that they were born as humans and then we could become born as devas due to Hiri and Otapa and Kusala deeds. So,
Question: if that recollection is done as a sort of daily routine, we'll say, not, but does that mean that those moments are wholesome mental states? And
no,
is
but
there
I
a
think
difference between reciting the virtues of the Buddha Dhamma Sangha as part of a routine and moments during the day when by reflection on the teachings at some point there is appreciation of the virtues of the Buddha occurring naturally in that way, and not because one has set out to recollect them.
well, I mean, before I study Dhamma, I take the refuge and reflect on the qualities of the Buddha. And I think that there's a chance that wholesome states will
Are there
arise.
wholesome moments arising in a day outside of one's time of practice?
Yeah. And yeah, and I mean, I don't disagree that unwholesome states arise unchosen, unselected, and when they're strong, I can't, like, like I would rather, I could have gone on retreat this week. Today I could have been at Deer Park, but I chose to just not go. And it's irritating to make that choice, but I did it, and
Is there not a difference in quality between wholesome mental states that arise naturally in a day when one is generous or considerate to another person or respectful or give someone a helping hand or whatever it is may be, and times when one is doing something, whether it's reciting or repeating what has been memorized or something?
yeah,
Those
because I
times.
saw this
Because
lady.
there's an underlying motivation, if you like, for the moments of ritualistic endeavor.
Could you elaborate on that? So you're saying the motivation itself is based in self and therefore it's not wholesome?
Well, it's certainly different from when those moments do arise naturally in a day, isn't it? There's no idea there of I am, yeah. So that there is a qualitative difference between the two.
But at least you're not discouraging people from like studying the Dhamma and reflecting on it and practicing. I mean, there was a time when it felt like you guys were discouraging mindfulness of breathing and
No, all we ever do is discuss what the Buddha taught about anything, and what people do is up to them. But when we talk about a sitting practice, for example, we're just discussing the difference in nature between that kind of moment and the other moment that occurs naturally in daily life. And so we're not trying to tell someone they shouldn't sit and recite the teachings or whatever, if that's what they're inclined to do. Very much not. But we want to understand clearly what the Buddha taught. And did he teach a specific practice to be followed, or did he just describe the way things are in truth and reality, and say to his listeners, as I might said, that it's for each person themselves to figure out the way things are? It can't be done for you by anyone else.
In terms of mental factors like related to the investigation, like Dharma Vakaya, like that quality of curiosity, like meeting what is arising. Like, so you could discern the difference between a Rupa Dhamma and a Nama Dhamma, or you could distinguish the difference between a earth element characteristic and a air element characteristic. Like,
at what level is that distinguishing being taken? Is it direct understanding at the moment, or is it thinking about the reality after it's fallen away already?
It seems like the easiest thing to experience in the moment, to cognize, is feeling. Like,
but it's not the same as direct understanding with awareness, because that doesn't
just knowing that you're
require
feeling
any focusing of attention on any particular object, because the object of awareness and understanding arising naturally is an object not of our choosing. The timing of that and the object taken are not things that are directed by us, that they happen by conditions. And
if we heard,
the difference.
If we heard that understanding impermanence and then feeling is present and then change is observed, and then you're sustaining your attention, your applied attention and sustained attention. So you're simply experiencing the change in feeling and knowing you're experiencing the change in feeling.
Great.
So what is the object of that intention actually has already passed away, because things arise and pass away so quickly that what is being focused on is no longer there. I think Sarah was about to speak.
I was just going to say, Drake, aren't these ideas all about I choose to go, I choose not to go, I sustain attention, and so on. Whereas the Buddha taught that all dhammas are anatta, as you've heard so many times, all dhammas are conditioned. So when there's the idea of I chose this, I chose that, or I sustained attention, or I did this and that, what about the understanding? Like at this moment, can you choose what to think about now? Can you choose what will be heard right now? Or is the hearing conditioned? The sound that is heard conditioned? The thinking conditioned? Whilst clinging to the idea that I can choose and I can sustain, and then, as you say, irritation if it's not the way one would like it to be, because it's not the understanding of just what appears now, just what is conditioned naturally. It's I trying to control, trying to make it a certain way, thinking outcome, but it's not understanding at this moment of life now, seeing now, hearing now, different dhammas arising by conditions now, whether at the temple or whether in the fields or whether in America or whether in Thailand. They're just different realities, moments of seeing, hearing, thinking, all arising by conditions and falling away. So thinking I can choose this and that, it's just an idea, but it's not an understanding.
That's true. That's true. I think that being conscious of attention and cognizance doesn't necessarily imply a self either. Like knowing that there's a moment of experiencing pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling. Noticing an impermanence doesn't automatically imply a self. Like it's just that happens naturally too.
If there's trying to know impermanence or trying to know what has arisen, the trying, the choosing is the idea of I with clinging, trying, wishing, thinking that I can know. It's not the understanding with detachment of what has been conditioned already. And this is what Advait started off by saying, that he's just learned. He's only been joining us for a few sessions, but what he was saying to Johnny was that it's letting go of a burden. Life is a lot easier when there isn't this continual idea that I can control, I should choose this way or that way, or I can affect the results, because it's not understanding anything about conditioned dhammas. I think that was his point.
Well, I appreciate you explaining that, and I could totally relate to the burden of trying to make everything
trying to control, trying to make the outcome, thinking that I can have an effect on life, not understanding dhammas. I think it's time we let Ajahn join in. And just while I pass it, I'm just going to put a quote for Johnny in the notes about the meat eating. I'll just put that in the quotes, and let's see if Ajahn would like to chat to you, Drake, and Johnny, and everyone. Ajahn?
Yes. Is there life? Is there life?
You're directing that question to Johnny or to Drake, Ajahn, or anyone?
Anyone.
Anyone. Okay.
Yes, there is life.
Is there life now?
Yes.
What is life now?
A moment of seeing.
Right. So what is seeing?
It is a nama dhamma.
What do you mean by nama and dhamma?
Dhamma is the reality which arises and is able to experience.
And Dhamma,
Dhamma is any reality which arises and passes away.
not only that, but we will talk about it later. Whatever is real, no matter what, whatever is real is a Dhamma, isn't it?
Yeah.
So now, at moment of seeing, what is Dhamma?
Seeing is Dhamma.
And what else?
Light, colors.
Why they are Dhamma?
Because they arise and pass away.
Dhamma is whatever is real.
Real.
Whatever is real is Dhamma. So later on we'll know more than that. But no matter what, whatever is real is real. So we are talking about that which is real as Dhamma, right?
Yeah.
So now, at moment of seeing, what is Dhamma? Again, please. Now that is seeing, is Dhamma. Is it life?
Yes.
And it's real.
Yes.
So whatever is real is a Dhamma.
Yes.
So is seeing a Dhamma?
Yes.
No one at all. Because Dhamma has to be only Dhamma.
Yeah.
It cannot be a cat or a dog or a fish or anyone at all. So seeing is just seeing. It's a Dhamma. Can it arise at will? Or can anyone make it arise?
No.
Can anyone make seeing arise?
No.
No. So how can it arise?
By right conditions.
What are conditions for seeing to arise?
The sense doors, the consciousness is one of the condition.
Okay. So what is seen? Is it seeing? What is there seeing? See? Is it seeing? That which is seen, is it different from seeing?
Yes.
So what is the difference between seeing and that which is seen?
Seeing is Chitta Nama Dhamma, and the one which is seen is Rupa Dhamma.
What does it mean, Rupa Dhamma?
The reality that arises itself but cannot experience anything.
That's why the first thing to have confidence in the truth. Whatever is real is Dhamma. No one, no thing. Only that which can be seen is real, is a Dhamma. It cannot be a pot or a dog or anything at all. It's only just a reality which can only be seen. Can you see a person?
No. Yeah. So we can only see the light. The person is a story.
Only that which can be seen. Sometimes we call it visible object or light or color.
Yeah.
Only. So it begins to understand the truth. In fact, there is no one and no thing at all. No atta, not anything. Only at moment of seeing. It's conditioned to see only that which is seen and gone, all of them. What arises falls away instantly. No one at all. So we can have many ideas about such and such. But what is that? Dhamma, all are dhammas in life, different dhamma at different moment. And what is that which appear just one reality at a time. For example, at moment of hearing, is it Dhamma?
Yes.
So in life all are Dhammas,
Yes.
different Dhammas, that
Yes.
reality which cannot experience the object can never experience anything. That's why it's different from the reality which just arises to experience. Whenever it arises, it experiences. No one there at all. Hearing arises to hear sound, and sound is heard. Sound cannot experience anything. So no matter in what world, there must be the realities. Each one is a Dhamma, all of them are Dhammas, no one at all, no thing at all. Only a moment of experiences and object and gone, never lasts at all. Life is so short. It's anicca, dukkha, anatta. Before seeing is there seeing? Or before seeing was there seeing? But before seeing arises, is there seeing?
Yes.
Before seeing arises, is there seeing?
In the
Before it arises,
it is
see,
not there.
there's no seeing before seeing. And
Yeah.
then seeing is there by conditions, just to see, arise to see, and gone, never to arise again. In this life, in samsara, in the circle of birth and death, there can never be seeing which arises and falls away. So falls away is completely, absolutely, never to arise again. So this moment of seeing is different from the moment before, right?
Yes.
That's why life is not permanent at all. You can be, or anyone can be, this person just only after birth on to death, and then no more. Because in truth, we give the name in order to know what is what. But in truth, they are dharmas conditioned to arise and fall away all the time, as long as there are conditions. For whatever arises, it has to arise. And the reality which experiences the object, as soon as it arises, it see and then gone, it hears and gone instantly. So life is each impermanent moment, just arise and falls away. Is it true?
Yes.
This is such a parami, not enough to just understand the truth. But the Buddha, the enlightened one, the one who showed the path leading to experience the truth until it's clearly realized as it is. That's why he said, all dhammas are anatta. No cat, no dog, no television. We live, or even there, all adamas all around, all adamas. Even the moment of seeing now is no one. Seeing is seeing only. It cannot hear because it's conditioned to arise to see. And as soon as it has arisen, it's gone, never to arise again in samsara. So we learn about life each moment to understand what's life. No one there at all. Only the reality which is conditioned to experience the object. And that is life. Without the reality which experiences the object, there can never be life at all. Hardness, taste, smell, all of these realities cannot experience the object. So nothing can appear. if the reality which experiences does not arise at all. So the whole world depends on the reality which experience the object. And the realities which experience the object are many, many, uncountable, different degrees of each reality which experiences the object. For example, feeling. Is feeling real?
Yes.
Is it anyone?
No.
Why not?
It's just a phenomenon.
It just rises and falls away.
Yeah.
Never belong to anyone at all.
Yeah.
But it experiences the object, right? Which
Yeah.
it feels towards that object
Yeah.
because it's a reality. That's why we learn about the many realities which experience the object and many realities which do not experience the object at all. To let go the idea of something or someone or I, which is so very deeply, subtly clinging long time ago because of ignorance. Take whatever is there as I see, but in truth, seeing just gone. Even I think a lot, each moment of thinking is gone. And thinking cannot see, and seeing cannot think. All are Dhammas. That's why never enough to understand the truth of Dhamma. Little by little, stage by stage, to the moment of no understanding at all, into learn to understand the truth, to have firm confidence of the truth. That sense is so rare, it can be realized, but not just now at all, because ignorance, not understanding the truth of what is there, has accumulated, has long, long time ago, up to now, this moment. No understanding of seeing, no understanding of hearing, no understanding of that which is touched or that which is seen. So, how long to let go something or someone from that which now arises and falls away each moment, unknown at all, until the enlightened one enlighten the truth. So he thought for 45 years. Each word is so deep, so very subtle. Even Dhamma, see, waking up, I woke up, see, I are there. That's why, is that the idea of I? Is it real? I see. If it's not real, there's no idea of I see at all. But now, even no word about it. What is it at moment of hearing? Now, thinking now, liking now, feeling now, pleasant, unpleasant, all adamas. So until no forget that now is Dhamma. But in truth, I see and no one see. With our firm confidence, more and more about each moment of reality. It is I, even now, I am hearing, isn't it?
Yes.
That's why the teachings of Arya Satya, there are 3 rounds. The first round is just hearing, considering carefully, developing understanding, so firm, all kinds of parami, patience. See, because just one moment cannot be understood, Dhamma as it is at all. It takes quite a long time to consider, after hearing, to understand what is life, what is real and what is there at that very moment. But without the words of truth from the enlightened one, how can there be the moment of just thinking? No one. It's only touching. Hardness is there, all gone. At moment of seeing, there's no touching, there's no hearing, there's no thinking at all. So now, when we talk about Dhamma, the understanding is there, firmer and firmer, just about whatever is there, right now or anytime. So we learn a little more about the truth of Dhamma, because just hear about Dhamma is not enough to let go. I'm hearing now. And this is only the beginning of what is meant by Dhamma. What is real is Dhamma. It's so real, nobody can change its nature. Satya Dhamma, so true, so real. Or Paramada Dhamma, Paramada Dhamma. Nobody can change the truth of the absolute reality. And it's so very deep, so very subtle. So there is another word, Abhidhamma. So Dhamma is Paramada Dhamma, Satya Dhamma, and it's just Abhidhamma because it's so subtle. If someone say, I will study Dhamma, but I will not study Abhidhamma, it's wrong because no understanding of Dhamma that is so deep. That's why there is the study of Dhamma by way of Abhidhamma to understand the truth. Like now, see, learn to understand no matter what is around or what is taken for I. In truth, anatta, no one, no thing at all. Not atta, I and my friend and my family and my house and the road and the sky and the sun and the moon. See, that is atta. The sun is atta. The moon is atta. The star is atta. A pillow is atta. All around. In truth, they are anatta. But the way the truth of each reality is not yet realized. That's why all of them taken by shape and form, the nimitta, as something and someone, even right now. So be true to the truth, not just heard or hearing about it, the reality which is now appear as it is one reality at a time. But each moment, see, begin to understand in truth, seeing is seeing, hearing is hearing. So the source of the world is so close from head to toe. Is that right?
Yes.
See, where is seeing? It's at the eye base, which the object impinges on it. If the object does not impinge on it, there will be no condition for seeing at all. See, that's why each reality arises by condition. Without its proper condition, it cannot arise. So we learn another word, sankhara dhamma. Whatever is conditioned to arise is sankhara dhamma, because condition for arising is sankhara, is sankhara paccaya. So we learn the truth little by little, one word at a time. So the condition for whatever arises is paccaya in Pali. The conditions for what arises is the paccaya, the proper paccaya for that reality to arise. Is this life?
Yeah.
Is it the truth of life?
Yes.
Is it just Dhamma?
Yes.
Is it Satya Dhamma?
Yes.
Is it Paramada Dhamma?
Yes.
Is it Abhidhamma?
Yes.
Where is it?
The reality of this moment.
So close from head to toe. The source of the world. That's why just have deeper understanding to what is heard as Dhamma. Not just all reality is a Dhamma, what is real is Dhamma. That is not enough. That's why learn a little more just from one word to another word.
Yeah.
Is there any question?
So I have a comment.
Yes, please.
So in ultimate reality, what we have discussed.
Again, please.
Yeah, so I'm just making a comment that whatever we have discussed is the ultimate reality, the Paramartha Satya. But in real life, we have to talk in conventional reality.
So, what is real life? Not just life. See, see, it's so very, very careful,
Yeah.
different, considering to understand each different word, no matter what is there. Experiences and object is life.
Yeah.
Without that which experience the object, there's no life.
Yeah.
So would you take it for real life or an ordinary life? But life is life. Never change. Only the idea make it different. But in truth, seeing is life or real life or daily life. See, it cannot be changed at all.
Yeah.
While walking, there is seeing. Seeing is seeing. While eating, seeing is seeing. While working, seeing is seeing. Seeing cannot be changed. Never changed. Eons and eons and eons, 100,000 years ago. Seeing sees. Seeing cannot hear. So we talk about the reality which experiences the object as different kinds too. The one which experience the object clearly, we add another word, clearly. We just say the nama, dhamma, experience the object. It arises and experience the object. But now we talk about the one nama, which arises and experience the object clearly. It's only one kind of nama. We use the word citta, vijnana, mano, mana, and so on. The same way, the same reality, but explained in different aspects. That's why there must be a reality which is nama. While there are so many namas, but only one just arises to experience the object clearly. And the Pali term is citta. And there are other realities which condition citta to arise. They arise together, but each one is different. So the nama dhammas, which arise together at moment of seeing, that is the one who is the chief of experiencing the object which is seen. The fake diamond and the real diamond. If they are not different, how can it be fake and how can it be real? And what makes it known? The citta, the chief of experiencing the object, experience one moment, one reality at a time. That's why it cannot know that it's real or not, but its function is to just experience the object so clear. That's right. The citta arises and falls away in split seconds, uncountable. How many cittas? But it seems like there is citta now sees and hears. But in truth, they are different moments, different kind of citta. That's why the chief one, which experiences the object clearly, is citta. And the other, Nama-Dhamma, which condition citta to arise together as condition. The other one, besides the citta, is cetasika. So now we learn about Dhamma, Nama-Dhamma, Rupa-Dhamma, and there are two kinds of Nama-Dhamma. The one who is the chief citta, and the other which experience the same object arise together is not the chief, but they have their own nature and their own function. They are cetasikas, all of them. That's why we learn a little more in life. What is life? In a moment. Now, see, and every moment. Never change. Dhamma, Paramada Dhamma, Abhidhamma. Is there any question?
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Just for Johnny. Johnny, you're probably not familiar with these different terms that are being used, but in brief, Ajahn is talking about the two kinds of realities now. Those that experience an object, like seeing experiences what is seen, hearing experiences what is heard, thinking thinks about ideas about the world, ideas about meat eating, ideas about the people on the screen. Those are namas, the realities that experience an object. And she's talking about those realities that don't experience anything, that which is seen now. We think what is seen are the people on the screen, but it's actually just visible object that is seen. We think there's hearing people's voices and words and meanings, but actually it's just sound that is heard. So these realities, visible object, sound, hardness that is touched, these are another kind of reality, the realities that don't experience anything. Rupas, I'll put it in the notes in a minute. And we learn about these different realities to begin to consider whether there really is an I, a Johnny or a Sarah that sees and hears and thinks, or whether there are just these different phenomena, different realities that experience and other realities that don't experience anything, in order for the letting go of the idea of a self or a lasting soul or a God or something. Because the heart of the Buddha's teachings is that there are just these different mental and physical phenomena arising by conditions and falling away. Life is just at this moment, seeing now, hearing now, thinking about all kinds of ideas and stories, each reality arising and falling away by its conditions.
And Johnny, I'd like to just briefly follow up on our chat earlier. If a person is eating a non-meat dish, is there any need for the person to think about the origin or source of whatever it is that's being consumed? Well, sorry, can't hear you. Could you unmute yourself, please? Take your time. There you've got it now.
Yeah, there is a need for people to think about where their food came from, whether it's veg or meat, because that's part of personal responsibility of sharing the world.
Yes, well, that's a particular viewpoint, isn't it? But what I'm asking is, do people necessarily think about the original source of, if they're eating veg, for example, or ice cream or whatever it might be, there's a lot of enjoyment of the taste. And people don't necessarily, people may not give a second thought to the origin of what's
They may
being consumed.
not. They may not, but we should, because the
Well,
origin of our food,
yeah, but that's a viewpoint.
that the origin of our food, our clothes, our fuel, everything has a consequence for something else that we share the world with. So we, as consumers, as a consumer, we're either supporting something or not supporting it. As Advait said, that he's chosen not to support the meat industry by not going to buy meat. And in the same way as you should consider where your shirt came from. Did it come from a 7-year-old making it in Bangladesh, or did it come from a properly run factory?
Yeah, that's a viewpoint, though, isn't it? You're saying everyone should think about everything all the time, but let's talk about,
as much as possible.
Let's talk about the reality of the present moment. Is there any thinking now about the origin of your shirt or mine or anything?
When I bought it, yes, I thought about where did it come from?
I've no doubt you did, but apart from that, the Buddha, the Dhamma is about understanding the nature of life at the present moment. It's not about prescribing how we should be acting. It's about understanding what is the real nature and essence of life at this moment. Because starting from the premise that only what is appearing now can be directly known and directly understood. Otherwise, if it's not something that's appearing at the present moment, then it's just thinking about the past or the future. And so that's why we talk about the mental state, among other things, both the experiencing and what is experienced are relevant in this context. So that is like the starting point. It's the Buddha did not prescribe how we should act in different circumstances or situations. But his enlightenment, he claimed to be enlightened. And that enlightenment was enlightenment as to the true nature of existence, as can be directly experienced and known. So I think they are different your approach, if I can put it that way, what is the consequence or the goal of considering the source of what we eat and wear and use and so forth? What is the goal there?
So I would like to contribute to there being a nicer world for everybody and everything to share. And I would like to abstain from contributing towards suffering and injustice in the world. And so if I would, for instance, I would abstain from buying a $3 shirt made in Bangladesh, because I can be pretty sure that that's going to come from enforced or slave labor. Now, that might still happen with a $60 shirt, but that's probably the best that I can do, is avoid the $3 shirt and go for, I ate here.
Yeah. It's speculative, but can I ask you which is more important? And that is the origin of the shirt, or how one relates to the what is one's mind state at the moment of doing whatever, making the purchase?
I think the practical act of supporting injustice and harm and suffering is more important than your about that it's more important than what I think you're calling understanding or the state of mind. So yeah, I think that where you spend your money,
just the state of mind generally, because the state of mind, one could be impolite, for example, to whoever the other person was involved in this transaction. And are we saying that it doesn't matter how polite or impolite one is, as long as you get a shirt that wasn't made by slave labor?
yes, that's what I am saying, is that the main goal should be to improve the world by supporting the good things and avoiding the bad things. And I go back to what you said earlier on about when you're eating meat, you might be eating meat without any ill will or any ill intention. That could well be true, and probably is in most cases. But that's because the food that you're eating is being divorced from the real animal. And so what you're getting is a pork chop.
Well, that's the
You're
point,
not,
isn't it? It's no longer an animal at that point.
that's right. And it's no longer an animal because you're eating it, and that has supported the industry that has bred the animal, kept the animal, and then killed the animal. If you didn't eat
There's
it,
a difference between saying that that is taken as a support and the mental state of whether the person intends to encourage more killing of beings or whatever. You'd appreciate that distinction, wouldn't you?
I would, if you're ignorant of the fact that but if you're ignorant of the fact that eating meat supports the meat industry, then I would accept that, yeah, of course you're supporting the meat industry without meaning to. But you're an intelligent man. You know that when you eat meat, then you're supporting the meat industry, just as Advait also abstains from buying meat because he knows that by spending his money with the meat vendor, it goes back through the chain of meat production and supports the suffering of animals. So he's worked out the cause and effect and the supply and demand. He's worked
It's
that
more
out.
supply and demand than cause and effect. If we want to talk about cause and effect, we don't know what the effect of our intentional actions are. We may know the outcome in conventional terms, but there's no way of knowing in advance
of course you
what
do.
the effect will be.
Johnny, let me tell you a small anecdote. When I first met Ajahn 50 years ago, I was a strict vegetarian. I'd been a strict vegetarian for a few years, all the same kind of arguments you gave. And we were in Sri Lanka. We were invited out for a big lunch, all these different curries on the table. I was sitting next to Ajahn, being very picky, trying to look for anything that was without meat, and screwing up my nose because I couldn't find anything except for the yogurt. And Ajahn looked at me and she put a tiny, tiny bit of every single dish on my plate and said, "Eat it." And I said, "I can't eat it. I'm vegetarian and da-da-da." And she said, "Being considerate to your hostess right now is more important than all your ideas and justifications and long stories. Just eat a little bit of everything out of kindness and consideration right now." And that was it. And I was no longer vegetarian. Wow. And the point is, people kill, like we see in all these wars around the world, because of anger and hostility and clinging and so on. This is the reason for harming and for killing. So it's just as in the quote that I put in the notes, the kindness, the consideration, the good behavior now is what is most precious, the understanding in this moment. And sorry to cut you off, but we've just got 4 minutes, so let's let Ajahn add any final words. Yeah.
Isn't it? Haven't we got another half hour?
No, it's finishing in 4 minutes. And